Hi everybody, this is Angelica. Nice to see you today. So today's video is going to be called Observing Your Relationships as a Way to Achieve Unity Consciousness. So that may not, or it may, make sense to you. And I just wanted to mention something before I go into this particular video. I write my blog before I do my video, and oftentimes what I've been noticing is that the blog has more things than the video that I don't mention in the video, and then the video has more things that kind of come from source through me to speak to everyone. So it's kind of like they're two different things, and if you want to know more about the subject that I'm speaking of, then read the blog that's on my website, and I always put the blog as well underneath the video on YouTube. Another way to get the blog is I'm going to start sending out the blog, every blog that I write, to people that are subscribed to my newsletter, which you can subscribe to that on my homepage on my website, which is angelstartherapies.com. And that's also where you can go to schedule sessions with me. And I also have all my blogs on there if you want to go back and reread those, and everything like that. So I just wanted to mention that to you. So if you, but if you're more into watching videos, then you might not want to read the blog. That's why I do both. Okay, so, and I always try to go by what I've written here, but when I'm speaking, sometimes it doesn't happen. So, that was my initial goal, though. So, when speaking about relationships and transferring our consciousness into unity consciousness, there's some things that we should understand about relationships. Now, relationships with others are changing right now, currently, on our earth. The way that we view relationships, the way we interact in relationships, is going through a huge transformation. So, and this transformation is helping us to evolve as people and as humanity as a whole. And so, but some people aren't getting it necessarily as quickly as others, but that's because everybody's on a different, level. And we're all here learning, our own personal lessons. I have some insight, though, into where relationships, or so-called relationships, are heading, because this has been a primary subject that I've been learning, and a lesson that I've been learning throughout my own life and my own spiritual journey, so that I can, let you know what I've discovered. So currently, relationships, they act as mirrors. So when we're in relationships with another person, oftentimes things will be brought up that will reflect back to us things we're needing to heal in our own life, in our own soul's growth, in our own emotional patterning. And that's what they are. They reflect us. Because in all actuality, and this is just interesting to note, and you probably already know this, but to really embody this thought of we are the other person, and that's what we're learning, is that we are one with all in humanity. We're not separate like the society has us believing. So, the common ideal, at least in America and, throughout the world, and sometimes it's instinctual a little bit, because our history has been set in this way of thinking, that we get into a relationship with one partner, and then we have children, and now you get a home, you get acquire all these things, and that is the ideal, and you live happily ever after. Well, that's not necessarily happening anymore, and you can tell that by the relationships, the marriages that are not lasting, and the dysfunction in relationships in general. And the reason that this is happening is good. Like, it's leading to something that is very important and that's great for our own self, and our humanity's growth in all. So, so through this, mirroring of each other, we're bringing up all these patterns that need to be cleared and purged so that we can become more like our true inner essence, our true selves, our higher self, our soul, so that we can shine our soul's, our soul's message, our soul's brilliance out into the world. And that, the basis of that is pure love, unconditional love. That's not limited to me, myself, a primary partner and other, my own children, my own city, my own state, my own country, but is based on everybody on the whole planet. Okay? So, this is one of the things that is transforming now. The separateness that we felt has limited our ability to love and has limited the ability for us to love in our relationships. When we are with one partner, yes, that's good in learning specific relationship issues for ourselves and helping us grow and allowing us to grow. But it is just the first step in going further into the ability to love all and everything and everybody. And one of the things that I brought up before is this concept of, if you don't love someone else, like if our country doesn't like that country, then, if we don't like that country because what it's done to our country, then we don't really love anyone. We don't love ourselves. We don't love our kids. We don't love, I know it seems extreme to say that, but if you don't have love for everything and everybody, even the most terrible person that's done the most terrible thing, you don't love at all. Now, this is important to take a look at and analyze and see what you think about this concept. Because when you realize and see the higher levels of things, of the way that things are, the darkness that holds the planet in its grip, and you realize that people have been conditioned and they're playing out pain that's been recycled through their own, families, genetic lineage, then you realize that people aren't doing things from a soul perspective. They're doing things out of habit, out of grief, out of pain. So you can show compassion for people. You can show compassion. You don't agree with the things that are going on, but you're very compassionate and understand why they did the things that they did. So therefore, you can love all people. You can love everything. And that will bring you to another level in thinking about relationships. And because we're not there yet, we don't know exactly how this will play out. But I do know that unity consciousness, the ability to serve humanity with your partner, is the basis for the new kind of relationships that are emerging right now. Many people are having heart-centered awakenings. Many people are growing at an accelerated rate because of these heart-centered awakenings. And this is allowing everyone to deal with their darkest, innermost pain that doesn't necessarily come from them and anything they did, but they're clearing things that have been brought forth from their, past families. And we're healing all this right now. So it's looking very dysfunctional. And it's looking not good. And we may not be expressing as much love to each other as we should be. But as this clears from our own, energy body and our own physical bodies, then we can become very strong in our new way of being, which is to love everyone and ourselves fully and completely in a higher way, which does include compassion. And it does include service to humanity. It includes finding your mission, and if you have a partner, working with your partner in order to bring that forth on the earth. And if you don't have a partner, just doing that in your own way and doing that to the best of your ability, because we're here on earth and there's a lot of things going on here on earth that need to be changed. Okay, there's a lot of good, but then at the same time, there's those things that need to be transformed and transmuted into a higher love. And I feel that if you're spiritually aware and you're on a spiritual awakening journey, it is kind of like a mission for you to help out if you can. If you have this higher awareness, if you have this ability for unconditional, compassionate loving for humanity, then that means that you're here to do something about it and help in some way. And even if that is just embodying that frequency, other people will become entrained to that and automatically start to shift. And people may be very uncomfortable around your personality because you kind of trigger that in them, because you're shining forth this beautiful unconditional love, and it will trigger them to start purging and healing their emotional pain. And in that, people get very uncomfortable, and oftentimes they'll tell you, but that's okay, because you're coming from a higher place and a higher perspective, you understand what's going on. So that's okay. Anyway, I don't want to make this video too long, but the blog has so much more to share about this subject, and I just want you guys to know that normally that's the case. So go and read the blog. They're usually not too long, and it's right under the video. So you can get more of a perspective of what I'm trying to convey. What I conveyed here on the video is just what's coming through me now, and it doesn't seem to always have such a structure. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you got some important information from this video. If you'd like to schedule a spiritual guided session with me, also underneath the video is my website, and you can go on there to do that. I hope you all are having a fabulous day, and thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.